New York is known as one of the most haunted states in the USA, with ghost stories in almost every corner. From the busy streets of New York City to the quiet towns upstate, strange happenings and scary legends are everywhere. Old buildings, battlefields, empty asylums, and historic houses are filled with tales of spirits that never left. People often say they hear strange sounds, see lights flicker, or even spot ghosts walking around. With its long history, many tragedies, and countless spooky places, New York is a perfect place for ghost hunters and anyone who enjoys a good scare. Let's talk about the most haunted places in Texas. Number 1. The Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas, is one of the state's most famous haunted landmarks. Built in 1886 by cattle baron Jesse Driscoll, it was meant to be a grand luxury hotel, but over time it gained a reputation for strange and chilling events. Many believe Jesse Driscoll's spirit still roams the halls, with guests reporting the scent of cigar smoke, shadowy figures, and footsteps when no one is there. One of the most well-known ghost stories is about a little girl who died while playing with a ball on the grand staircase. Visitors say they can still hear the sound of a ball bouncing or her laughter echoing through the halls late at night. Another tragic story tells of a young bride who ended her life in her room after her wedding was called off. Guests who stay there often feel deep sadness, hear soft crying, or see her ghostly figure. Over the years, people have also reported flickering lights, sudden cold spots, and faces appearing in mirrors. Some visitors have even captured strange shapes in photos. The Driscoll is both a stunning historic hotel and a place where the past never seems to rest. Number 2. La Carafe in Houston, Texas, is known as one of the city's oldest and most haunted buildings. Built in the mid-1800s, it has served many purposes over the years, including a bakery, a drugstore, and now a cozy wine bar. Its creaky wooden floors, dim lighting, and antique decor create the perfect setting for ghostly encounters. Many believe the spirits of former owners, workers, and even past customers still linger inside. Visitors often report hearing footsteps on the stairs when no one is there, along with whispers and faint voices coming from the empty upstairs. Some have felt a light tap on the shoulder, only to turn around and find no one. Bartenders tell stories of glasses moving on their own and candles mysteriously blowing out. One of the most famous ghostly residents is believed to be a former bartender who still watches over the place, making his presence known to staff late at night. People walking past La Carafe have claimed to see shadowy figures peering from the upstairs windows, even when the building is closed. The atmosphere is both charming and eerie, making La Carafe not just a historic bar, but also a hotspot for those seeking paranormal experiences in Houston. Number 3. Yorktown Memorial Hospital in Yorktown, Texas, is one of the most chilling and talked about haunted locations in the state. Built in the 1950s and run by the Felician Sisters of the Catholic Church, it was originally meant to care for the sick and those struggling with addiction. Over the years, the hospital saw hundreds of deaths, and many believe the spirits of former patients and staff never left. The building closed in the late 1980s, but strange activity has continued ever since. Visitors often report hearing disembodied voices calling their names, footsteps echoing through the empty halls, and the sound of medical equipment clattering in rooms where nothing remains. Shadowy figures are seen moving across doorways, and some guests claim to have been touched or pushed by unseen hands. Many believe the spirit of a strict nun still patrols the corridors, scolding anyone she doesn't approve of. There are also stories of former patients appearing in hospital gowns, wandering aimlessly as if still seeking treatment. Cold spots, flickering lights, and sudden feelings of dread are common. Paranormal investigators have captured strange photographs and recordings of voices responding to questions. Yorktown Memorial Hospital stands as a dark reminder of pain, loss, and lingering souls, making it one of Texas's most terrifying paranormal hotspots. Number 4. The Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, is one of the most historic and haunted sites in the United States. Once a Spanish mission, it became the site of the famous 1836 Battle of the Alamo, where hundreds lost their lives. The bloodshed and sacrifice left a deep mark, and many believe the spirits of those who died still guard the grounds. Visitors and staff have reported seeing ghostly soldiers dressed in old military uniforms, standing watch along the walls or marching across the courtyard. Some hear the distant sound of battle, gunfire, cannons, and cries echoing through the night. Others have felt sudden cold winds or the sensation of being watched, even when alone. One chilling story tells of a tall figure in a Mexican soldier's uniform seen near the entrance, believed to be a guard protecting the site. Apparitions of women and children who sought shelter inside during the battle have also been spotted. Strange lights, whispers, and the smell of gunpowder often linger in the air. The Alamo is not just a symbol of courage and history, it is a place where the past refuses to rest, and the spirits of the fallen seem to remain forever on duty. Number 5. Oakwood Cemetery in Austin, Texas is one of the city's oldest and most haunted resting places. Established in the 1850s, it is the final home to pioneers, soldiers from the Civil War, politicians, and countless citizens whose stories have faded with time. Many of those buried here met tragic or violent ends, and locals believe their spirits still linger among the ancient oaks and weathered gravestones. The peaceful setting hides a much darker side that has drawn ghost hunters and thrill seekers for decades. Visitors often describe seeing shadowy figures moving silently between the headstones, only to vanish when approached. Some report hearing faint whispers or the sound of footsteps pacing nearby, even when the cemetery is empty. Others speak of cold gusts of wind and glowing orbs floating above graves, especially in the older sections. There are stories of a woman dressed in a flowing white gown who roams the grounds, believed to be searching endlessly for a loved one lost long ago. Late at night, strange mists form around certain plots, and some witnesses claim to have captured ghostly faces in photographs. Paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained voices and felt unseen touches during their visits. Oakwood Cemetery's history and lingering energy make it a place where the line between the living and the dead feels very thin, leaving visitors with chills that last long after they leave. Number 6. The Menger Hotel in San Antonio, Texas is often called the most haunted hotel in the state and one of the most haunted in the country. Built in 1859, it has hosted famous figures, witnessed countless stories, and seen its share of tragedy. Its beautiful Victorian charm hides a chilling side, as over 40 different spirits are believed to roam its halls. Guests and staff have reported countless eerie encounters, making it a magnet for paranormal enthusiasts. One of the most famous ghosts is Sally White, a chambermaid who was murdered by her jealous husband. Her spirit is said to appear in the hallways, still wearing her maid's uniform, quietly going about her duties. Another well-known apparition is that of President Theodore Roosevelt, who is often seen in the hotel bar, as if recruiting Rough Riders again. Guests also claim to see Civil War soldiers, ghostly children, and well-dressed Victorian-era visitors appearing and vanishing without a trace. Reports include footsteps echoing on empty floors, doors opening on their own, and sudden cold spots. Some visitors have woken to find a shadowy figure standing at the foot of their bed. Others have felt unseen hands brush past them or heard faint laughter in the dead of night. The Menger Hotel's mix of history, elegance, and ghostly legends makes it a place where the past seems determined to remain alive, creating an unforgettable and chilling experience for anyone who stays within its walls. Number 7. Old Alton Bridge, better known as Goatman's Bridge in Denton, Texas, is one of the state's most notorious haunted sites. Built in 1884, the Iron Truss Bridge once connected the towns of Denton and Copper Canyon. Over the years, it became the center of dark legends, the most famous involving a local goat farmer named Oscar Washburn. According to the tale, Washburn was accused of practicing witchcraft and was lynched by a mob who threw his body from the bridge. When they returned to check, his body had vanished, and from that night on, strange events began to plague the area. Visitors claim that if you knock on the bridge 3 times at midnight, the goatman himself will appear. People have reported glowing red eyes, staring from the darkness, heavy footsteps on the wooden planks, and the sound of something large moving just out of sight. Many have heard guttural growls and eerie laughter echoing through the night air. Some say they've been pelted with stones or felt an unseen force push them. There are also stories of ghostly apparitions, from shadowy figures to headless shapes wandering the woods. Car engines have mysteriously stalled, and phones have died without reason. Paranormal investigators often leave with unsettling photos, unexplained recordings, and a feeling of being followed. Goatman's Bridge remains a chilling reminder of dark history and a hotspot for those brave enough to face its terrifying legends. Number 8. The Texas state capitol in Austin is not only a symbol of government and history but also a place filled with ghostly legends. Built in the late 1800s, the grand building has seen political debates, important decisions, and more than its share of strange happenings. Many believe the spirits of past lawmakers, workers, and visitors still roam its marble halls. One of the most famous ghost stories involves a man in a suit and top hat who appears near the Senate chamber before suddenly vanishing. Some say he was a politician who died during a heated debate. Others tell of a young woman in a long dress wandering the corridors, believed to have met a tragic end nearby. Staff and visitors have reported hearing footsteps when no one is there, doors slamming on their own, and whispers echoing through the empty rotunda. Late at night, security guards have seen shadowy figures move past windows and felt sudden cold spots in otherwise warm rooms. Some have even heard the sound of typewriters clicking, despite there being none in use. With its deep history and eerie encounters, the Texas state capitol is as mysterious as it is majestic. Number 9. White Rock Lake in Dallas, Texas, is famous for its beauty during the day and its eerie legends at night. The most well-known tale is that of the Lady of the Lake, a ghostly young woman dressed in a soaking wet white gown. According to the story, she appears on the roadside near the lake, asking passing drivers for a ride home. Once inside the car, she remains silent until suddenly vanishing before reaching her destination, leaving only a damp seat behind. Locals believe she may have drowned in the lake decades ago, and her spirit now wanders, seeking help that never comes. Some visitors have also reported seeing her standing silently along the shore or walking across the water's edge before disappearing into the mist. Late-night joggers and fishermen claim to hear splashing sounds when the water is still, as if someone unseen has entered the lake. In addition to the Lady of the Lake, strange glowing lights, unexplained cold breezes, and shadowy figures have been spotted in the surrounding park. Paranormal investigators often leave with strange photographs and chilling recordings. White Rock Lake is a place where natural beauty hides an unsettling presence that refuses to rest. Number 10. Terlingua Ghost Town in West Texas is a place where history and hauntings blend together in a chilling way. Once a booming mining town, in the early 1900s, it became nearly abandoned after the mercury mines closed, leaving behind crumbling buildings, deserted homes, and a haunting silence. Today, visitors say the spirits of miners and townsfolk who suffered through harsh conditions and tragic deaths still linger among the ruins. People walking through the old cemetery often report hearing whispers, footsteps on gravel, and even the sound of picks striking rock, as if the miners never stopped working. Some claim to see shadowy figures moving through the abandoned shacks, only to vanish when approached. Others have felt sudden cold chills in the desert heat, or an eerie sense of being watched. One of the most chilling stories is of ghostly lights that appear on the hillsides at night, believed to be the lanterns of miners searching for their way home. Visitors have also reported distant cries and laughter echoing through the empty streets. Terlingua Ghost Town is more than just a historic site. It is a place where the past seems alive, and the spirits refuse to be forgotten. Number 11. The Spaghetti Warehouse in Houston, Texas, is known not only for its food but also for its eerie reputation as one of the most haunted places in the city. The building dates back to the early 1900s and was once used as a pharmacy warehouse. Over the decades, it collected stories of tragedy and strange occurrences that continue to frighten visitors today. One of the most famous legends is about a pharmacist who died after falling down the elevator shaft. Many believe his spirit never left, and people report seeing a shadowy figure wandering the upper floors or standing silently near the old elevator. Some have heard footsteps following them, only to turn and find no one there. Employees and guests have also reported dishes moving on their own, chairs sliding across the floor, and cold spots that appear without reason. Whispers and faint voices are often heard in empty rooms, and some claim to feel unseen hands touching their shoulders. There are even stories of ghostly women in Victorian-style clothing appearing briefly before vanishing into thin air. The Spaghetti Warehouse may have closed its doors to diners, but its haunted legacy remains. For many, it is a place where history, tragedy, and restless spirits still come together. Number 12. Hotel Galvez in Galveston, Texas, is a grand and beautiful seaside hotel, but beneath its elegance lies a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the state. Built in 1911, the hotel has survived hurricanes, tragedies, and countless storms, and many believe the spirits of those who suffered still remain within its walls. Guests and staff alike have shared chilling stories that make the hotel as famous for its ghosts as for its history. The most well-known haunting is tied to the Lovey Room on the 5th floor. According to legend, a young woman took her own life there after hearing that her fans had died at sea. Her sorrow is said to linger, and visitors often hear soft sobbing, doors slamming, and feel an overwhelming sadness in the room. Some have even seen her ghostly figure standing by the window, waiting for her lost love. Other parts of the hotel are just as active. Guests have reported phantom footsteps in empty hallways, the smell of perfume drifting through the air, and flickering lights with no cause. Mirrors in the lobby are said to show shadowy figures that vanish when approached. Paranormal investigators have captured chilling voices, strange orbs, and unexplained cold spots throughout the building. Hotel Galvez may shine as a historic and luxurious destination, but its ghostly tales reveal a darker side. Here, the beauty of the Gulf Coast is mixed with the presence of restless spirits, making it one of Texas's most hauntingly unforgettable locations. Number 13. Presidio La Bahia in Goliad, Texas, is one of the most historic and haunted sites in the state. Built in the 1700s by the Spanish, it played a major role in Texas history and witnessed one of the darkest moments during the Texas Revolution. In 1836, hundreds of Texian soldiers were massacred on its grounds, and many believe their restless spirits still haunt the fort today. Visitors often report hearing the sound of marching boots and gunfire echoing across the stone walls, as if the battle is still being fought. Some have seen shadowy figures dressed in old military uniforms standing guard at night before fading into the darkness. The chapel is said to be one of the most active areas, where people have heard whispered prayers, ghostly singing, and even seen candles light on their own. Cold spots, sudden feelings of dread, and the smell of gunpowder are often experienced by guests exploring the fort. Paranormal investigators have captured strange photos, voices, and even full apparitions on camera. Presidio La Bahia is not only a powerful reminder of Texas's fight for independence, but also a place where the past refuses to rest, leaving behind an atmosphere both historic and chilling. Number 14. Moody Mansion in Galveston, Texas, is a striking 28,000 square foot Victorian home, but behind its beauty lies a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in the state. Built in 1895, the mansion survived the deadly hurricane of 1900, which claimed thousands of lives across Galveston. Many believe the sorrow and loss from that tragedy left a permanent mark, and strange activity has been reported inside the house for decades. Visitors and staff often speak of ghostly children playing in the hallways, their laughter echoing through the grand rooms before fading into silence. Some have reported the sound of footsteps on the grand staircase when no one is there, while others describe sudden cold spots and lights flickering on their own. A few guests claim to have seen a woman in old-fashioned clothing standing near the windows, watching silently before vanishing into thin air. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices, moving shadows, and even strange orbs floating in photographs. Some say the mansion carries an energy that shifts between welcoming and unsettling, as if the spirits of the Moody family and storm victims still wander the halls. Moody Mansion remains a historic gem, but one filled with ghostly secrets that refuse to fade away. Number 15. The USS Lexington in Corpus Christi, Texas, is a massive World War II aircraft carrier that now serves as a museum, but many believe it is also one of the most haunted places in the state. Nicknamed the Blue Ghost, the ship earned its reputation for surviving multiple battles, and with that history came great loss of life. Visitors and staff say the spirits of sailors who never left continue to walk the decks. Guests have reported hearing footsteps echoing through empty corridors, doors slamming shut on their own, and voices calling out from the darkness. Some describe feeling cold chills and sudden touches as if someone unseen brushed past them. One of the most chilling stories is of a sailor who appears in full uniform, offering directions or instructions, only to disappear moments later. In the engine room and lower decks, shadows have been spotted moving against the walls, and paranormal investigators have captured mysterious voices on recordings. Strange lights flicker in areas without power, and visitors often feel as though they are being watched. The USS Lexington may be a proud piece of American history, but its haunted presence tells the story of sailors who remain forever tied to the ship. Number 16. La Posada Hotel in Laredo, Texas, is a historic and elegant landmark, but behind its charm lies a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted places in the state. The hotel stands on the grounds of the old San Augustine Convent, which dates back to the 1700s, and over the centuries the site has witnessed countless changes, tragedies, and deaths. Many believe the restless spirits of the past still walk the halls and courtyards, giving the beautiful property an eerie atmosphere that unsettles guests and staff alike. One of the most well-known spirits is said to be a nun from the convent era, often seen gliding through the corridors or standing silently near the chapel. Witnesses describe her figure vanishing the moment they approach. Guests have also reported hearing footsteps in empty hallways, doors slamming without cause, and faint whispers echoing in the dead of night. Cold spots and flickering lights are common, and some visitors claim to feel watched while staying in certain rooms. In the courtyard, shadowy figures are often seen moving across the grounds, and several guests have reported hearing distant cries or ghostly laughter. Paranormal investigators who explored the hotel captured unexplained voices, strange orbs of light, and even the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. La Posada Hotel may welcome visitors with its beauty and history, but its haunted legacy ensures that the past is never far away. Here, elegance mixes with the supernatural, creating an unforgettable and chilling experience.